Hi everybody. So here is Le Caméléon des Langues, and I'm making this video to explain a bit how my website works. So here is the English speaking part of my website. So there are 3 languages available. So of course the website in French is much bigger, much more complete, because this website was first aimed at French speakers. So there is much more, everything is available from French. And I already made a video explaining how it works, but so you need to understand French for that. For the English speaking part here, there is less because I translated less. So basically the website in English is composed of actually only one part, which is the articles on methodology. So for years I've been learning languages. I just love learning languages, and I acquired some tips and tricks and experience while learning languages. And there are things that I discovered, some tricks and things about methodology that I discovered myself, others that I stole, well, borrowed from fellow language learners. And I made a couple of articles on that. So the articles in English, I think, well, the same in French. They are the same in French and in English, I guess. I think I more or less translated every article from French to English. So here they are. You can also get access to them, access them from here. This menu, you have 10 articles. So it goes from learning vocab quite fast to like how to improve by reading, and how to learn from scratch. And well, you read it. So these are the tips. For now, I am not really making new articles because I am rather focused on producing videos for my YouTube channel. Um, so this is what is available from English. I will just explain some quick things from French, because there are things for which you don't really need to understand French. So, but if you speak any French or if you understand it, I invite you to try and watch the French video regarding my website, so where I present it. So here, so same section in French with tips and tricks on how to learn. Then I have a section for Dutch because I teach it in Belgium. Then I have a shorter section in English, but so that's not really for you because, well, you already master English, I guess. And then I have resources. This is the important part. So I have been gathering language learning resources. Most of them are for free, not all of them though. But when I put them on the website, it means that they are valuable, so it's worth paying for it. So in the resources, you have 14 languages available. So as you read them, although they are written in French, yeah, forgot to put them in English. Anyway, so you have Afrikaans, you have German, you have English, you have Catalan, Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, Spanish, Esperanto, French, Italian, Dutch, Polish, Portuguese, and Russian. Um, so I can take, for example, the French article. So everything is explained in French because I haven't had the courage to translate it all into English. I'm busy enough with all the work I have. So everything is explained in French. So these articles, and well, I take the one for French, but they are all explained and well, every article is divided in the same way. So you have sections. For example, here and in any article, you have sections like listening, like there is a corpus, how to begin, reading, dictionaries, websites to get corrections, vocab, grammar, oops, apps, methodologies for learning, language level tests, how to get pen friends, for example, tools for teachers, and diversities when I don't really know where to put it, and then a couple of Facebook pages. So these are all to learn French, for example. Usually I explain a bit, well, what you can find, what you can expect, and when it's a website that proposes, that suggests, or that has content for several languages, I cite them. I just give the different languages that are available. So I usually give a short explanation of what you can find on it. So you can read it at home, cozy. And all my articles are built around the same principle. All my articles contain minimum 30 to 40 resources. Well, usually it's around 40, 50 for most articles. For some of them, like English and Dutch, I have more resources because these are languages I teach. So that's it. And well, if there is something you don't understand, you can simply put it on Google Translate. For such a short text, like a couple of sentences, I guess Google Translate will be fine. So what else did I want to say? So regarding the tips and tricks, it's more or less the same in English and in French. And what else? So in French there is much more, which is why the video in French is much longer. In English it's much shorter. Yes, I think that's more or less all. Well, I could also explain, in case you want to learn Dutch, I could also take some time to explain what you can find. I'll go from the main menu because it's more visual. So in Dutch, so if you don't speak Dutch, just skip that part because I think the last part I'll do. So in Dutch, since it's the language I teach, I have grammar articles with set explanation, grammar things, and then exercises, and then corrections. Unfortunately, if you don't understand any French, it's all in French because I made it when I began making this website. I made it for French speakers, so everything is explained in French. But again, you might try with Google Translate, you might try to get the gist of the text and of the explanation. So I have about 16 articles, I think. I'm not adding any new one because I'm not teaching Dutch in Belgium anymore. I am currently in Spain for the whole school year, and I'm busy teaching French. So I don't have to teach Dutch, so I'm not going any further in Dutch grammar. So this is for grammar. Then I skip English part and we go to the reading stuff. So if you're learning Dutch and you want to get reading material, here is the place to be. Here I put material rather for beginners or low intermediate. So I have two main types of material. There is the VDMs. VDMs means vie de merde. It's French for fuck my life. Since this type of reading resources doesn't exist in Dutch, I created them myself. So I took them in French from the website, so vie de merde, and I translated 150 VDMs. So for each of them, you have here the original text in French that I borrowed, stole, copied, copy-pasted. So from the French website, and I translated them into Dutch. Then you have here notes. These are grammar explanations for things that might not be clear at first sight. For some VDMs, the level is very low. For others, it's quite higher. It depends on the VDM. Also, you might find two different styles of translation. I made them along with a friend who is translator, so she translated some VDMs from French to Dutch and made some explanations because well, it was just faster and she could help me. So if you see difference, like, well, you will notice that she's a translator. I'm not, so she's much more thorough in all the details and the small like subtleties of the language. So I guess you will see I don't explain things like she does. I have more of a didactic way of teaching because I'm a teacher and I had classes of didactics. So that's it. So you have 150 VDMs, so 3 articles of 50 each. So here 1, 2, 3. If you go to the main menu, apps, Dutch, reading in Dutch, vie de merde, 3 different articles. Then Histoire Nouvelle, so short stories, and this is actually the part of the website that I'm most proud of. So I have written, and I am the author of actually of more or less everything on my website. And well, of the short stories, surely I am the author of every single one of them. I like writing. So you have 24 short stories. So these are around low intermediate level, more or less. So it depends. You have here B1, A2, A2, B1. These indicate the level more or less. So I'll take the first one as an example. So here you get to the main article, where you have well, I'll directly go to the article itself, to the story itself, so that you can see it better. So here it is. This is kind of a longer one. The others are like a page and a half. So you have on the left-hand side the Dutch text, and then on the right-hand side the French text. It's more or less a literal translation. When it's not, I explain it. So here you can see notes, and these are when something might not be clear at first sight. So I explain grammar stuff, vocab stuff. I try to be thorough and to be clear. So if there's some things that you don't understand, you can just read these. Of course, there are French explanations, so you might have to look it up on Google Translate if you cannot understand it. And as you can see, there are some colors, some things underlined and stuff. What is that? Well, this is explained here. I have a color code, I'll say. And so words in red are adjectives that take the E for the adjectives. Then these are when the verb is inverted. So these are all the most frequent grammar stuff. And you have, so you can read it. There are also, I'm taking the time, some of the stories have been, well, are on my YouTube channel and have been read aloud by natives. So you can read them along. There are two speeds, one slow, one normal, so that according to your level you can use them. So all the novels are more or less the same length and same style. So there are 24, so that's quite a lot of material. So that's more or less all I had to say. Well, English stuff, you don't need it. You don't need them, I guess. So short notice as well that I have a Facebook page, Le Néerlandais Simplifié. Although it concerns Dutch, I also publish things in other languages. So I publish things in French, in English, in Dutch, and in Spanish. And every time I publish something, whatever the language, whatever the topic, I put it on my Facebook page so that people know that I'm doing something and that it's available. I also have a YouTube channel, Le Caméléon des Langues, so you can click on it. Is there anything else I wanted to say? I'm not sure. No. So from the menu, so for Dutch you have all the articles for grammar. Then you have the reading material, like the short stories, the 24 short stories. You have the Vie de Merde, and then I took some pictures of the book of Asimov, which is one of the leading language learning, well, self-language learning books, so books that you use to learn alone. And I just put a couple of pictures to show you how it works. Yeah, so that's more or less everything. So I hope this video was useful for you. I hope you will use these resources. So the whole website is for free. There is nothing that I created for which you would have to pay, so take advantage of it. Use the resources, and I will keep on adding new resources every time I find some. So this is kind of a lifelong project. So if I keep on learning new languages, I will put them here and all the materials with it. And yeah, so I hope you will learn new things. And if you have any questions, you can ask here in the comment section below. Here you can send a message, and it will go right to my mailbox. And that's it. So yeah, I will stop it here because my video is going to be longer than 15 minutes. So thanks for watching, and see you later.